So you're thinking about moving to Newcastle, Washington. Well, stick around. This is going to be the most in-depth video that we do on Newcastle. This is the map video. We're going to actually hop in my computer down here and we're going to take a look at the Google Maps to show you where Newcastle is located in relation to everything else, the airport, the mountains, Seattle, Bellevue. And then we're going to zoom in on Newcastle itself and talk about what's going on in the actual city of Newcastle, what's there to do, attractions, schools, all that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna hop into our 3 favorite neighborhoods in Newcastle. We're gonna actually pull up the MLS so you can actually see the prices, look at some of the pictures, really show you an idea of what it's like to live here in Newcastle and the real estate market. So if you're looking to learn more and this sounds good, stick around. We're gonna get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know all there is to know about living in King County, Washington, or places like Newcastle, like we're talking about today, then hit the subscribe button and tap the bell for notifications. That way you can be the first to be notified of a new video of Newcastle or one of our other favorite cities here in King County. I'm Brad Decatur with the Decatur Home Team, and we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every day who are looking to make their move to King County. So whether you're 1 day or 1 year away, we'd love to help you make a smooth move, and all of our contact info is down below. The channel is meant to have you learn about the area. Then when you're ready, please reach out, text, call, set up a Zoom call so we can discuss your personal needs and what area is best for you and help you navigate that real estate market. So today we're doing the map video. We're gonna hop in the computer right now. So I'm gonna turn this camera off and we're gonna hop in the computer and let's get after it. All right, everybody, here we are. We are in the computer now. So I'm on Zoom just so I can kind of do a share screen. So let's get into it. So we're going to first take a look at the map feature. So first thing here, let me just show you. It has a little border around Newcastle. So first thing I want to point out is how small, to kind of show you what else is in the area. Let's do one more. There we go. Bellevue is just north of Newcastle, right? So Bellevue is a lot bigger. Bellevue's at the border here. It goes all the way up until it hits Redmond. Actually, sorry, just like right there, give or take. So Bellevue's significantly bigger. Seattle shoreline is right where Seattle ends. And even Burien is a Seattle address. Tuckwell is not. So that's how big Seattle is. So you can see Newcastle, this little thing right here. Boom. It's a really small city to actually have its own address and own city. It's actually kind of surprising. So it's very small. Us locals, like I think of Newcastle as Bellevue, as an extension of Bellevue. The way I see it is Bellevue goes into Renton. Newcastle just happens to have its own city. But we're covering it because it is different than Bellevue for a lot of reasons. If you look at the pros and cons video, one thing I love about Newcastle is that it does feel like Bellevue. It's a nice spot, but the prices are a lot better. It's kind of like that transition area right from Bellevue to Renton. So Bellevue, downtown Bellevue, of course, is massively expensive, and Renton is significantly less expensive, and Newcastle is right there in the middle. So I love Newcastle because you're close in proximity to Bellevue, so like your top-notch market, and you're getting this good school district. So that's one of the best things about Newcastle is that you have Issaquah and Bellevue school districts. Bellevue school districts always 1 and 2 in the state. It's usually Mercer Island and Bellevue. Issaquah school districts usually 3, 4, sometimes 5. So both school districts, it kind of cuts in half there, are great schools. So yeah, I love Newcastle for that reason of its location. You're close to everything, close to Bellevue. You're getting great schools, but pricing is still a lot better than like downtown Bellevue. So, okay, back to the purpose of this video, the map part. So the first part I want to do, show you where Newcastle is. There we are. And what's located around it. So obviously Bellevue right above it, Seattle pretty close by. If you're going to like a Mariners game, most likely you'd go up to I-90 and then cut on over. So yeah, if you were heading right down in here to downtown Bellevue, like going to T-Mobile Field, going to the Mariners game, going to the Seahawks game, then this is going to be, how you get there. And it's not going to take you very long unless there's lots of traffic. So that's one of the downsides of Newcastle is that if you're doing 405 right here in this area, this is probably one of the worst areas of 405 from Coal Creek Parkway exit, which is right where Newcastle is basically, to the downtown Bellevue. Man, that's got to be one of the worst stretches. So traffic can be terrible, but you can see like proximity wise, it's not like very far in distance. Getting over this bridge with no traffic takes 5 minutes. getting up here takes 5 minutes. So, I mean, you could be in downtown Seattle in like, I would say probably 15 minutes with no traffic. So very, very close. Most people are going to be working in Seattle, Bellevue, Kirkland, and Redmond. So all these areas right here. Kirkland's right here. Redmond is like this. It goes actually a lot bigger. Excuse me, Redmond. So this is kind of your work area. Seattle, Bellevue, Redmond, Kirkland. So the commute from Newcastle in distance is not very far, but again, 405, bad traffic. So you're all going to be going north. So in rush hour, you're definitely going to be getting traffic. A couple other areas to note of surrounding areas is, you know, to the south area is going to be Renton. So Renton's a really big city. Actually goes all the way up towards Lake Youngs, almost to Maple Valley. And things do change for Renton. So you can watch my Renton videos, but Renton school districts are a lot worse than Issaquah and Bellevue school districts. They're not terrible, but they are worse than the Bellevue and Issaquah schools. So that's directly to your south. And then you got Issaquah right over here. Get my feature back. A couple other things to note are going to be the mountains. So Snoqualmie Pass is right here. That's going to be your closest mountain range for snowboarding and skiing in the wintertime. So that's going to take you probably 45 minutes or so. Going to be I-90 the whole way, except for the 405 to get up there. Unless you actually went through the Issaquah, you could probably go this way if you wanted to. Potentially all the way through Maple Valley to 18, excuse me, down here. That wouldn't make a lot of sense though. So yeah, that's kind of what's around Newcastle. For most of this video, I want to do the neighborhood stuff and show you what's in Newcastle, even though it's small. But that's one of the benefits of Newcastle. It's a great location, really close to a lot of things. So let's go ahead and, oh, sorry, one more thing is going to be the airport. Another bonus here. Newcastle, pretty close to the airport. So SeaTac is the airport right here. So it's really not too far. You're so close to 405 again. You're going to head down. 405 actually runs into it. So SeaTac Airport, Newcastle, probably 20 minutes. Really not too bad at all. Okay, now let's head into Newcastle. Here we go. So now that we're inside Newcastle, we're going to take a look at a few things. Some of the cool attraction areas, a couple things to do, and then we're just going to go into some neighborhoods and kind of look at our favorite neighborhoods in the area. So first off, we got the Newcastle Golf Course. We have our own footage of this. I don't know. It was a really cloudy day, so they probably have better pictures. But here's a picture of Newcastle Golf Course. Newcastle is very hilly. And so this is on like kind of the top of one of the big hills. I mean, I wouldn't call it a mountain, but you can see here, this is pretty good. So this is from the clubhouse where that looks over. So it really is, it doesn't really do it justice. I love golfing here. But when you're in person, this view is pretty spectacular on a clear day. That's Lake Sammamish. So you got the Bellevue area, you got the Seattle skyline as well. And the course is really well maintained. So it's a really great spot. Clubhouse is killer. So they have weddings here a lot, lots of events, private events in the clubhouse, in the restaurant area, in the outside tents. They have a great facility just for practice as well. They have the nice putting green, 2 chipping greens. The putting green is pretty huge. Actually, multiple putting greens now that I think about it. They also have the 18-hole putt-putt course, which is actually on grass. I don't know if there's a picture of that. Actually, you can see right here. Here we go. So this area right here, this is the putt-putt course. So it's a real grass with bunkers putt-putt course just past the 18th hole. So that's super cool. And then they have a really nice range as well. We'll show you some videos, I think, here. Maybe I can find the range on here, though. I guess not. So that's the Newcastle Golf Course. Really cool attraction. I mean, when I think of Newcastle, because I'm a golfer, that's the first thing that I think of as far as like attractions, because it really is one of the nicer golf courses in the area. It's super cool, great views. So that is number 1. Number 2, Lake Boren Park, and then Coal Creek Park are the kind of the big ones. So we'll go to this one first. I did this one in the vlog tour as well, so we can show you some footage of it here. But this is a great spot. It's got a great playground. It's got the sand volleyball, tennis courts, and it's on the lake. It's a really small lake, but it has a nice little dock as well. Lots of open space, very green. Here's the lake part and the dock. There's the playground again. So you can see there's kind of a lot going on here. Lots of open grass. So Lake Bourne Park. Okay, next thing let's just get our paint tool out again here. So Coal Creek Parkway is going to be your main like drag, goes right through it, as you can see right here, right down the middle. This is just your main road. Kind of everything's off that road. So we'll zoom in a little farther and we'll get to we'll do the shopping center next. So here's the shopping center. This border is not correct, I don't think. So here we have the shopping center. There's two that are kind of right across the street from each other. You can see that there's Safeway on this side, a couple of restaurants. This Yee's Woke is a good Asian restaurant, Bartel, and it has a Bank of America. And then on this side is going to be the QFC. So Safeway, QFC. This is going to be your shopping center. So if you're living in Newcastle, I don't see any reason why you'd want to go to Bell Square and get all the traffic. This is going to be where you're going to get your regular grocery shopping done. Now, the downside of Newcastle, if you look at my pros and cons video, is that it's really small. It's a small town. And so if you're going to be doing like main, shopping outside of grocery shopping, like the mall, things like that, movie theaters, like big or big box stores like Home Depot, Fred Meyer, that kind of stuff, or Costco, you're not going to get that in Newcastle. This is it. It's just this one little center for like your grocery shopping and your, a few shops, like your main commercial area with some parking. That's all right here. But if you're going out at night on the town type stuff, Mariners games, things like that, you're obviously going to have to leave Newcastle. But this is your main shopping center. Okay. I'll show you Lake Bourne Park from the territorial view here. Is a little bit better to see it. So you can see it's actually pretty dang big. Here's the actual park area right here. Tennis courts, volleyball, more grass area, and then the lake and the dock on the lake. Okay, one more thing. So I should have done this earlier, but I'm going to do it now. So even though Newcastle, I'm just doing Newcastle, I want to mention that if you are going to do the shopping, like the mall type stuff, Bell Square is farther away. So up here, a little bit farther north is Factoria, which is still a Bellevue address. And here is the Factoria Mall. So it is super close. And the great part is you don't have to hop on the freeway. You do not have to hop on 405 to get to, like, because if you're going to downtown Bellevue, you'd probably hop on 405, a lot of traffic. But here, not Newcastle again, but still really close to shopping. So this is an actual mall. I mean, it's not Bell Square or anything, but it is a nice big mall, the Factoria Mall. So you can see here, Nordstrom's Rack, Old Navy, Footwear, Target, Walmart. So all of your stuff that you're missing in Newcastle with like the main big box stores, mall type situation, it's really, really close by. So another pro there is a Factoria Mall is really just north of it, and you don't have to go here. For reference, I'll show you where Bell Square is here. So here's Newcastle right here. Factoria Mall is right there. Bell Square is right up here. So it's about twice the distance to get to Bell Square. Okay, back to actual Newcastle here. Okay, so now we're gonna do some neighborhoods. So one of my favorite neighborhoods, I sold a client a house in here a few years back, and it's in the vlog tour as well. But it's really the one that's connected to this Lake Bourne Park. So we'll hop in here a little bit. Actually, you know what? So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the MLS, and we're gonna hop in the MLS and look at actual houses for sale and check out the neighborhoods here. Okay. So guys can get an idea of what the prices are and all that kind of stuff. Let's look at pending as well. It's January. There's not a ton of listings out, so I want to get as much data as we can. Newcastle. Okay. Do the map feature so I can show you guys the locations. Okay, so there's the Lake Bourne Park. So this road that connects to Lake Bourne Park right here, this neighborhood that I'm talking about is right up here. So this kind of whole area right here is a really great neighborhood. Let's check out the one for sale. It looks like there's two. Okay, so this one's 1.575. So this is a big house, 4,000 square feet. Someday I would say that most houses in this neighborhood are probably more like 1.1 to 1.3. And they're probably gonna be like in that, it's more of a traditional like 4-bed, 2-bath or 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,500 square feet type house, maybe 3,000, 3,500 square feet is gonna be more that 1.2 range. This one's obviously a little bit bigger, so it's gonna have a little bit better price, a little bit higher price. But this one's been on the market for 100 days, so obviously it's priced a little bit too high. But we'll just take a quick peek at it. 4,000 square feet. I'm not going to go through every picture, but so this one has a nice base. This is where the square footage comes from. So you can see from the front there, It looks like over here, it looks like 2 stories, but it's got a basement here. It's on a hill. So that's why it's got so much square footage. We won't go through every picture. Just want to get you an idea. All right, so we can show you also some footage of the area. We did this in the vlog tour, so we can show you the neighborhood. This is just one example. Like I said, most of the houses in this neighborhood are probably gonna be more about the 1.1 to 1.3 range. I think, a 3,000 square foot house, 4-bed, 3-bath type house, probably in that 1.2 range. And the footage will show you a little bit better idea of what the neighborhood looks like, because we only have one to choose from here, like for sale right now today. But this whole neighborhood that butts up to the Lake Bourne Park is a really nice neighborhood. You can see there in the footage here, there's a lot of 3-car garages, pretty big houses. And that's kind of your middle upper price point here in Newcastle. So that's neighborhood number 1 that I really like. All right, neighborhood 2 is going to be some new construction. So as we get to this side of the area here, we're going to be seeing a little bit more higher prices. There's only a couple to choose from, but I want to show you these ones right here. These are new construction right here. But some of these houses right here are going to have some of your views, because it does go up a hill right here, and you can see that we're on the lake. So there's some pretty cool views. Let's take a look at these new constructions real quick. So 2.5 or 2.475. New construction, 3,500 square feet. So new construction, of course, always set the price range for the top of the market for that square footage range. This seems a little bit high, honestly, but we'll take a look at this new construction house. Nice place for sure. So this is going to be kind of your top of the market area here for Newcastle, because again, it's new construction and it's a pretty big house. I saw one the other day, it was like 5,000 square feet. That was a similar price. So this seems a little bit high, but nice property. So there's some new construction. Cool. I just want to show you the area here. So we'll show you some footage of a new construction development right over here that is close to these Lakeview houses. That is in that $2 million range. Let's shift gears to like kind of our starter houses. So there's closer to the actual park here, or excuse me, not the park, the shopping center here. There's some up here. I'm not seeing them right now, unfortunately. There's just not a lot for sale. Let's check out the solds just so we can get some data here. It's January, so there's not tons of listings, but I want to show you. So here's some recently sold ones. So this neighborhood right here, let's take a look at it. Here we go. This is what I'm thinking. Yes, perfect. Okay. So about 1,500 square feet, 3-bed, almost 2-bath. This is more of your starter house. So Newcastle, you're not going to get an actual house for really less than 800 right now. I mean, for the most part. So we'll show you some footage of this neighborhood as well. But this is going to be like your starter range. So in the 800,000 range, this is a Rambler, about 1,500 square feet, 3-bed, probably not updated is my guess, but still a nice, good neighborhood. These are a little bit older houses. This one specifically was built in 1967, so a little bit older. But again, we'll show you some neighborhood footage of this one. So this is going to be right next to, pretty close to that shopping center there. So a little bit the older section. So this is another neighborhood that I wanted to just kind of mention. And then lastly, the Newcastle golf course. So there is houses that are on the golf course over here. And this is this whole neighborhood. This is more than one development, but I'm just going to think of it as a whole, like this whole general area. I would say like from right here to right here. It's a pretty nice area. So let's see, there's 2 sold, only not a ton to choose from again, but it'd be cool if one was on the golf course, because those are always really cool houses. Of course, they're more expensive, but here's 1.4 million. This is a good example. This is probably like after 2000 built. Oh no, wow, 89. Okay, a little bit older house, but 1.4 million, 3,300 square feet. So this is like, yeah, I would call it the golf course community, basically. But this whole area near the golf course, I think is a really good neighborhood. We'll show you some footage of this as well. Again, we're not going to look at every single picture, just giving you an idea of kind of how far the dollar goes here and what the neighborhoods are like. So that's one example. Let's take a look at this other one here. Okay, so this one's 2 million. Is this on the golf course? Not quite, no. So 2.175. This is a 4,400 square feet house. Do love this neighborhood though. Pretty grand entrance there. High ceilings, chandelier. Nice. Big, huge kitchen, lots of cabinet space. Master bath. Cool. Cool. Okay, so that's a good idea there. Again, just showing you some examples, just so you guys can browse, kind of know what you're getting. So another one at 1.7 million, 3,300 square feet. Similar looking neighborhood. Like I said, bigger houses, 3-car garages, this whole golf course area. It's a great looking house for 1.4, I think. Here's a good look at the neighborhood. So it's pretty close to the golf course, just not on it though. And these houses are a little bit older, but like as you can see, a lot of them have been updated though. Yeah, that's enough for that one. I'll see the year built in this one. This one was built in 94. So Newcastle, it's really just filled, like I said, it's a small town. It's just filled with all these little neighborhoods. It's mostly just a bunch of neighborhoods. There's the one shopping center, the one golf course, the park, the Coal Creek. Other than that, it's just a lot of neighborhoods. It's really I guess I call it a commuter, area, because you're not going to be working in Newcastle unless you're working at the QFC or the Safeway, like this area, or you're working at the golf course. You're going to be commuting. You're working somewhere else. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of Sammamish in that way. It's really just a bunch of different developments. So the neighborhoods are typically pretty small. Like even that one that I just mentioned here, they're different builders in each kind of like pocket of here. So I'm not going to go through every single little subdivision, every single neighborhood. I like to break things up in like the areas. So they have kind of your near the shopping center area right here. We have your Lakeview areas over here. And then, like I said, one of my favorite neighborhoods is the one by Lake Boren. And then your golf course community areas. So those are kind of the areas. Again, price points, you're getting, I would say, the low millions for that's like your average house, I would say. So probably a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet, maybe towards the 1 million range. The up to the 1.5 range is going to be a little bit bigger square footage, but still those a little bit older houses with still good lot sizes, good backyards. So maybe a $1.4 million house for 3,000 square feet. And then you have your more new construction, 4,000, 5,000 square feet in the 2 millions. And some of them may or may not have lake views, but you still have your starter houses, a little bit older style. I think the one we saw was 67. That was a 1,400 square foot house in the 800,000 range. So that's kind of what you're getting in Newcastle as far as the real estate. The purpose of this video is mostly to show you guys the real estate. And obviously it's just location into everything else. All right, guys, that's it for the map video. Hopefully you found that helpful. It's a little bit more in-depth of the area kind of on the map feature. And then looking into the real estate, this is the only video where we get a glimpse of what's actually in the MLS as far as the real estate goes. So hopefully that was helpful for you. If you're looking to learn more about Newcastle, we have the vlog tour where we kind of run around the area, and the pros and cons video where we're just kind of sitting at the desk talking about the pros and the cons of the area. Now, if this is your first video on the whole channel and you're looking at Newcastle, that means you're probably interested in other surrounding areas. So be sure to check out the rest of the channel. We have everything sorted in playlists. So if you're looking at Newcastle, you might want to also check the playlist for Bellevue, Renton, Issaquah, Sammamish, kind of the areas that are just surrounding the Newcastle area to learn more about the area. And again, we're here to help. So we are local experts in this area in the real estate market. We know it like the back of our hand. So if you're making a relocation, please reach out. We'd love to help you make a smooth move and help you just decide, which area is best for you based on your needs, because we know each area so well. So feel free to check out the channel if you want to look into real estate specific and see a different side of, my videos. It's going to be on the Decatur Home Team page. This is the page where we do all things real estate. So our market updates and things that are more specific to our knowledge in the real estate market. This channel is for what it's like to live in this area. So a little bit more educational for just, the vlog type stuff, what it's like. So again, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the page, subscribe, notifications, and then reach out when you're ready to work with us. We would love to help you make a smooth move to Newcastle or King County. Thanks.